Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, it is going to be another ranking. And I am going to be covering all 14 of the theatrically released Batman movies. So as you might know, The Batman, arguably the most anticipated movie of this entire year, has finally released. And you know me by now, it's time to update my ranking. Also, this is going to be spoiler-free for The Batman. The others, I don't think I get into any spoilers, but maybe like a little thing here and there. However, The Batman will be left spoiler-free. Before I hop into the actual ranking itself, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my rankings. So be sure to check that out, and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And so without further ado, let's hop right into things. Number 14, Batman and Robin. Do I really even need to take the time to talk about this one? I'll put it this way. Literally everybody involved in the making of this movie has apologized publicly for it. Yeah. Number 13, Batman Forever. For me, anyway, this one is only ever so slightly above Batman and Robin. Val Kilmer plays a passable Caped Crusader, but Jim Carrey is really the only reason to watch. Look, it's pretty bad. You may still be able to find some goofy and nostalgic enjoyment here and there, but overall it really just isn't a very good movie. Number 12, Justice League 2017. Look, this movie isn't as objectively bad as I always make it out to be. If you go into it blind, like I did back in 2017, there is admittedly some fun to be had. But there is just so much disgusting stuff that has come out from behind the scenes since its release. And all of that just really makes me hate it. It's watchable, it's fine, but the only reason it didn't end up in dead last is because I adore all of the actors involved. Number 11, Batman the Movie. This movie kind of just gets this spot by default because it's not a bad movie by any means, it's just very much so a product of its time. It's a campy, old school, wacky, and endlessly memeable 60s superhero movie. If you liked the original Adam West TV series, then you'll like this one. However, if it is your first time watching this movie or the series, just make sure your expectations are in check. Number 10, the Lego Batman Movie. I think this is a fun little treat, but not much more. The voice cast, however, is excellent. They really did gather, like, the best of the best. The animation is stunning. I absolutely love the Lego style, but at the end of the day, the story just kind of makes it feel like hollow product placement. Don't get me wrong, there still is plenty to enjoy and some good beats in here, but I really do think that the only great Lego movie is the original. This one is definitely the runner-up because I do enjoy it, however, it just couldn't quite recapture the magic that it was hoping to. Number 9, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Whenever I am discussing this movie, just know that I am always referring to the Ultimate Edition, because that is the only way to watch this movie if you ask me. Ben Affleck was a phenomenal choice for this universe's Batman. Henry Cavill was and still is my all-time favorite Superman. The action is magnificent, especially the warehouse scene. It deals with a lot of its themes pretty well, but the story is still just a touch too convoluted, even with the Ultimate Edition fixing a lot of that up. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is just a weak villain, and I still don't buy him in the role. And shoehorning Wonder Woman, Doomsday, and Justice League setup in the end was a mistake. This movie is a mixed bag for most. I'm definitely more on the positive side, but I can't ignore that there is a lot to love and a lot to hate. Number 8, Batman Returns. I often flip-flop back and forth between which of the two Tim Burton Bat movies I like more, but for today and for this video, it's going to be this way. Michael Keaton is just as good as Batman as he was before. His Bruce Wayne to me is still just okay. Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito as Catwoman and Penguin respectively are marvelous. The storytelling isn't quite as strong as its predecessor, but there is a lot to love here, and it's Christmas themed, which makes it the perfect Christmas movie every holiday season. Number 7, Batman 1989. Dark, whimsical, and it set the stage for much of what we love in superhero media today. Michael Keaton proved everybody wrong by nailing the titular role. Jack Nicholson embraced everything about his character and perfectly embodied this version of the Joker. Sure, the action isn't great and not everything has held up that well, but I love the overall aesthetic of this version of Gotham and everything in it. And the story is solid. Sure, there are some odd choices, but overall it is solid. Number 6. Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Why, oh why, didn't people appreciate this masterpiece when they decided to send it to theaters all those years ago? Nowadays, legions of fans endlessly praise it, but it deserved all of that praise back then too. Everything about this movie is brilliant. The animation, the action, the voice cast. I mean, it stems directly from Batman the Animated Series, so everything that you love in there is very much so present here. But it's also got some very dark and mature storytelling, some spectacular backstory and character building, and one epic twist. It's genius all the way through. Okay, sure, there is some goofier stuff towards the end with the Joker's inclusion, but all in all, it is a very personal and captivating tale from start to finish. Number 5. Batman Begins. I'd call this a damn near perfect origin story. Seriously, I dig everything about this movie. I love the story and the way it's told. It's well-paced with well-placed flashbacks. I love Bale, Murphy, Neeson, Kane, Oldman, Freeman, and Holmes. I love Nolan's direction. I love the tone and the fact that it's very much so grounded in reality. The only thing I don't love is the action, because the action is borderline horrendous. It really is just shaky, quick-cutty garbage. Aside from that though, this movie is virtually flawless. Number 4. Zack Snyder's Justice League. A grand, epic, sprawling adventure years in the making. An army of devoted fans, the normal ones like myself anyway, begged, and I mean begged, for years for this movie to be finished and released. We finally got it, and it delivered. It truly was each and every single thing we could have hoped for, and so much more. This movie is perfect in my eyes. I love every aspect of it. It is a 4-hour masterpiece that I could and likely will watch over and over again until the end of time. But it will forever sting that it ends on a major cliffhanger that I am confident will likely never be resolved. Number 3. The Batman. This was my most anticipated movie of 2022, and thankfully it was mostly everything I could have hoped for. Sure, okay, it is a little long, but Pattinson did it. He became the Batman and proved all of the naysayers wrong. Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, Colin Farrell, Andy Serkis, John Turturro are all brilliant, phenomenal, superb. The score and cinematography are just, chef's kiss. Matt Reeves' direction, the tone, the detective work, the Batmobile, I could go on and on all day long. And now, just give me the sequels. Number 2. The Dark Knight Rises. This is likely a very controversial placement, and a lot of people are not going to be happy about that, and I'll never understand why. I mean, the movie has great reviews, like phenomenal reviews, but for whatever reason nowadays, I guess it's popular to shit on this movie, even though it's absolutely amazing. And I personally think it's a perfect finale. Sure, there's a few little nitpicks, and maybe even some minor plot holes here and there, but at the end of the day, I think this movie is pretty well perfect. It goes bigger and bolder than its predecessor. Tom Hardy brought Bane to life better than he has ever been before. The stakes are higher than ever, the storytelling is exceptional, and the ending is undeniably perfect. It really does feel like a grand finale, and a culmination that everything that this 10 out of 10 movie trilogy had been building towards. Number 1. The Dark Knight. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you The Dark Knight. I know, right? Who would have seen this one coming? Yes, it is still the king and very much so deserving of its crown. It has now, at least as of the recording of this video, moved into the number 3 spot on IMDb's top 250 of all time based on user score, with a 9.1 audience score. The only movies ahead of it are the original Godfather and The Shawshank Redemption. And I don't even have to tell you why, because you know why. However, as I will always add in, RIP to the great Heath Ledger, who left us with one of the best movie performances of all time, and easily one of the best movie villains ever. ever. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my ranking. While you're at it, feel free to let me know how you would have ranked all of these Batman movies and what ranking you'd like to see me do next. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. And that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you. And while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.